trying to get this working all day, all the time. Oh yeah, I have to put these things on. All right, now we'll go see about getting live on Facebook. This morning I was checking through all the windows that I would want to use today, and everything seemed to be working fine, but when I got into Zoom, it's only now was getting going, so we'll have to see how this goes. Even though I was able to get Facebook up and get the things I've written up, it still was going slowly. But if I were patient and just waited, it would come up like this. Slowly loading, but loading. Of course, when it came to Zoom, I didn't just wait. I did some clicks in hopes to get it going, because one time I couldn't even do the show. Most of the time it works fine, but that one time it didn't. And a couple other times it took me quite some time to get going. So okay. It's going slow, but it's going. I'm just going to put the title here. Okay. Right. Wow, preparation is done. Okay, let's see. I think I will start here. At some point, I am going to share what's going on. So, okay. This was the first thing that I wanted to share today anyway. Okay, where are we here? All right. Now let's see. I'm going to share this one. I think I am. Oh, all right. Confusing to me. Okay. Punishment. I've always felt that punishment is something parents would like not to have to do. I think that when a parent says, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, they really mean that. It does hurt them to hurt their kids, but they believe they must so their kids will behave the way they want them to behave. They believe that it is their response. I'm going to go over, we did it before recently, maybe even last time. No, not last time. Anyway, but it's on the same theme. So I'm going to, and it's kind of a continuation, it seems like, from what I just said. Creating your A game. I just saw a quote that captivated me. There's no plan B for your A game. It turns out to be the title for Bo Eason's book. I've just been thinking of writing about eliminating punishment. Punishment is a kind of plan B for parents, like what to do when your kids don't do what you want them to do, in the way you want them to do it, and when you want them to do it. That's supposed to be a major parent A game. Getting your kids to behave, which basically means what I said in my last sentence. Do what you want them to do, how and when. So punishment is the plan B, not ensuring success, not making success the only option, not playing your A game. Well, what if we make success the only option? What if we also make the whole thing more realistic? What if we go for agreement? Agreement is a realistic possibility. It's been achieved repeatedly over many years of going for it. Kids seem to take to it as if they were born to do it. Are you ready to stop punishing kids right now? Are you ready? Are you willing to go for agreement instead? Agreement, which means they willingly agree to something you willingly agree to. Could you go for that and give up your plan B? You know, punishment doesn't feel good, not to you, not to your kids. And I guarantee that once you've started finding agreements, you are all going to feel good. They are going to behave in ways that are agreeable to you. Your A game, success for both of you. Think about it, then do it. Surely you've found agreement with someone in your life. Use that time or those times as your model. You can do this. You deserve this. So do your kids. It improves your life above and beyond what you can imagine right now. Right now, I'm promoting how to have an A game with 2-year-olds. Well, not yet, but it is part of what I'm going to be sharing with you later. Okay, making agreement work was a blog post. I've been giving lots of thought, at least regular thought these days, to the one rule, even more than usual, because this weekend, that was when I wrote this, I'm going to be speaking on this topic. I get to choose whatever topic I want concerning peace in the family. And of course, the one rule is my topic of choice. Every day I've been having different internal conversations concerning this that I love so much. Today I've thought of it from a different point of view. I've thought of it from the point of view of someone who wants to do this, but is not familiar with how to do it and actually has been practicing very different ways of being with the children in their life. Now that I've started writing, I realize that some of this focus has been floating in my mind in general. My experience with creating harmony with kids which is really what this is all about, was really flow and easy. I was not a punishing parent. It was not in me to do. That is not logical because my parents were definitely into punishing. I guess it was my bonding with Montessori, and by that I mean my particular bonding with Montessori. I can't speak for other Montessori trained people. To a certain extent, the empowerment of the best that is in each child is built into the Montessori method. Discovering and exploring this helped me create my own trainings. The way I bonded with Montessori, deeply appreciating the value of childhood and the importance of the child's work, and the importance of that work in helping create our world, seemed to ensure that I did not punish my children. So I never had to transition from that to harmony. I had a lot to learn, but not that. Well, I have learned since then, since I wrote this, that even though I did not punish them specifically, but if I got upset, I yelled. And I did have to get over that. And fortunately, I did. And that's a whole nother story. In fact, I've written a little book, like if you end up joining the member site, which is part of this whole package I put together, then you'll see the book. And it tells the story of how I did transition from one moment to the next, pretty much from yelling at them to finding peace and harmony with them and having a good time. From then on, anyway, I guess if your desire to find or develop or increase the harmony you have with your kids, if that desire is strong, that will help you transition out of punishing by refocusing on harmony. Agreement can help. Agreement, I wrote this somewhere else, but I'm going to share with you here. Agreement is harmony in action. So keep that in mind. Maybe knowing that there is a way to help your kids grow into the awesome human beings it is in them to grow into, knowing that you can help instead of hinder them, could empower you to use the one rule. It still feels strange to use the concept of rule. Well, now it doesn't, not with the one rule. It's so contrary to much of the way I've lived my life. I was into guidelines, flexible. One rule is not flexible, it's a rule. But I'm so grateful to have discovered the one rule. It can be so helpful to you and your kids. One of the benefits of the one rule is how simple it is. Though powerful, think how much more powerful merging atoms is to splitting them. Think of the power of harmonious teamwork. If you can remember agreement, that's your touchstone. You may go off track, no worries. Just get back on track as soon as possible. Keep that in mind. I'm sure you can find a way. Your children will help you, especially if you ask them. The last two people I've coached and mentored were able to adopt this approach fairly quickly, though it had not been familiar to them. As you may already know, on my website, you can get, oh no, you can't get a free chapter 1 of the one rule. No, you can't get that, but you get something I think even better. It's a video, it's about 12, 13 minutes long. And it's an intro to finding peace and harmony with kids with the one rule, something like that. Anyway, You can, if you want to, go to my website. It's www.happykidsco.org. That's the new website. And sign up, join the list, and you can get that video. I'm also launching the One Rule. Well, now that is something that is happening now. Here, okay, this was the One Rule, the training, an 11 lesson course. Now that has been transformed. It was requested that, no, it was suggested that my book, which is The One Rule to Raising Happy Kids, that's the latest book. There's a new one coming though, actually, a companion version filled with story examples of the One Rule in action. Okay, anyway, it was suggested, even though that book is about 50 pages of information and about 50 pages of this course right here, the One Rule, the training. It was suggested that that was too long for the people that are connected with a certain organization. And so once I got that information, I was able to write a 16-page book, which included essential information and 5 trainings. Now, those 5 trainings got transformed into the latest course, and that is part of the package that I am offering. This is like a totally great time to get it, because it is, you get the certified version and it's a 90% discount. That means you pay 10% of what people are going to pay, but this is a launch. And so it's going to be, I know for sure that there's going to be a it's going to be a 1-day sale. Okay, now I may do another 1-day sale. I may do more than one-day sales, but they are going to be 1-day sales. In between, there'll be other things that I'm offering, because there are many, many courses, ebooks, I'm not sure even what else right now, from my archive website that have never been available. They're all together, but they never got put out. And so for this launch, they are all going to get put out one by one, maybe 1-day sales, weekend sales, we'll see. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to be sharing more about it, but there's some of it. So raising happy, harmonious kids is the goal. Let's do it. Okay, we did that. Great. I saw this too. I'm going to share this and then we'll go on to some other things. Once when I was in India, waiting, I think for a train, I was traveling on my own. I had a bag of sunflower seeds. I was eating them. They're raw. I was totally into raw foods in the days. I was eating them one by one. A father and his children were standing nearby and asked me about them. I explained what they were. I explained about sprouting them and how nutritious they were. I ended up giving them the bag. Later, I had a thought. If they ate the seeds, they could have a meal, which might have been important. I do not know. But they were on their way to live in the country with his brother. I had a very strong thought about that. If they planted the seeds, they could grow a large crop of sunflowers, which would give lots of seeds. If they kept at it, they could have a sunflower seed empire. I did my best to send this thought to them. I've had the same thought about my work. It started with a question. My work started with a question. Why am I so bothered by the way I see parents treat children? This was when we founded the Montessori school that is still going in Northern California. Then I got an answer. It's what I consider the invisible root cause of the troubles that develop between kids and adults. I could have been satisfied with that. I could have just said, oh, yes, that makes sense. Now I understand. That would have been a meal for me, that understanding. Like if that family ate the sunflower seeds I gave. But the seeds and in understanding is a potential empire. My path has brought me to this point. I've been given the one rule, the gateway to the empire of harmony between kids and adults. Now, interesting, this is written quite some time ago. I've completed my latest book. Oh, now I have more. Raising Happy Kids. That's what I want, happy kids. During a transition time in my life, I was thinking, what do parents want in terms of their kids? I decided they want them to be happy. I told my coach, and Happy Kids Company was born. That web address was not available, so I settled for happykidsco.com. I'm already thinking of 2 more books, one on 2-year-olds. I haven't done that yet. That's an important one. They are a unique breed, but I do have a training on that, 2-year-olds. So I'll have to put it up in this launch time. They are a unique breed and need special care and attention. I have a training for harmony with them. Another book is a companion book for raising happy kids, filled with examples of the one rule in action. I guess that's the name, the one rule in action. Well, actually it isn't. It's the Friendly Parent Storybook. And one of these days, I will put it up for pre-sale at maybe 90% off also, we'll see. But I will during this launch period. More parts of the empire of harmony between adults and kids are revealing themselves to me. I'll reveal them to you sometime soon. Okay, now let's go on to this. I could have gotten out of the screen share. If I'd had a guest, that's what I would have done. But for myself, I think we can just do it this way. Maybe. Okay. Let's start this. This is one of the slideshows I created for a much earlier show. So I think it's time for it here. There's a little part on 2-year-olds, but there's also a whole section on teens at the end. Okay, this is, it was done during the time that kids weren't going to school and people weren't going to work. Lots of homeschooling ideas. This is to help kids follow their interests. This is part of harmony and action. Let's hope this works. As I said, it was moving slowly. During the first part of this 1-hour show, I share tips and strategies that create harmony with kids. Then we open things up for Q&A and discussion. That's when we have guests. When I talk about harmony with kids, I often bring up the one rule. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, you use the one rule. You find agreement. That is the rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. You do not move forward until there is agreement. This is the rule. When you follow it, you find harmony. You discover what needs to shift so that everyone involved feels good about the situation. It has never failed me when I have used it. Even though I had not isolated it and named it, it was very much a part of raising my children and working with students as a Montessori teacher in our Montessori school, as well as students in public schools. Last week, I spoke about kids following their interests. I asked you to think about doing something that interests you. When we're interested, we're engaged and focused. We tend to do our best. When we are engaged and focused, our whole being is involved in what interests us. We are experiencing harmony. That is a good reason for our kids to do what they're interested in doing. When kids do what really interests them, they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. I have witnessed this. Today, I intend to share some of the ways the one rule can help your kids follow their interests. We'll start with 2-year-olds. They are very active and passionately want to do what interests them. One important thing to keep in mind about 2-year-olds is that they are developing their willpower, the power to want, the power to be determined, the power to persevere. With 2-year-olds, your role in using the one rule is primarily to be a harmonious example to them. For example, let's say they have chosen to do something that you do not want them to do. This could be a conflict in the making, especially with a 2-year-old. To use the one rule and keep harmony, help them want something you agree with before they become determined. Once they have become determined, they are practicing being determined, exercising and developing that aspect of their willpower. If you want harmony and they have become determined, demonstrate harmony by figuring out how you can agree with what they want. Trust that they are in a point of harmony and figure out how you can adjust yourself to be harmonious with the direction they're going. Maybe you think, this is proof that I need to pay better attention to what is going on. I could have changed their focus if I'd been paying attention. Or maybe you can still change their focus. Just remember that agreement is harmony. Maybe you can whisk them up and quickly engage them in something else, something you like and they like. Just remember that agreement, harmony is the goal. So whatever you decide to do, make sure they agree, keep the harmony. It's so much better for everyone. It feels better. It takes less time. Think how much time and energy it takes to force them to do what you want. Agree, and none of that trauma and trouble happens. You know your 2-year-old has been watching other family members doing various activities. Now they want to do one of those activities too. You can let them figure it out on their own, or if you prefer, you can show them a way to do it that you like, that you agree with. Here's a way for them to get a drink of water. Let's say they want to be able to get their own drink of water. You want to get your own water to drink? Here's your cup. Put their cup somewhere so they can reach it themselves. If they need to carry it in a particular way, show them. Show them how to get the water into the cup, how to stop before the water fills the cup too full. Show them what to do with the cup and any extra water after they have finished drinking. One important thing to understand about a 2-year-old and their desire to do these familiar activities is that they use these activities to develop and coordinate aspects of themselves, like their intelligence, their will, and their physical actions. They get to use their intelligence because these activities make sense to them. They understand most of what is involved. How you can help? Show them the various steps involved in doing the activity, including how to complete the activity. They get to use their willpower to want to do it, to be determined to do it, and to persevere in their efforts, hopefully until success. Remember, if you do not want them to do this activity, be sure to help them choose another activity to use to coordinate these aspects of their personality before they are determined to do that activity. This cannot be stressed enough. It is critical in creating and maintaining harmony with a 2-year-old. They obviously get to practice the movements that are involved in doing that activity. When you show them how to do it, be sure to pause briefly between every 1 or 2 movements. That way, they can clearly see what actions are used and exactly how to perform them. Encourage your older kids to be self-determined, to choose what they want to do like they did when they were 2 years old. Use the one rule in your interactions with them and encourage them to use the one rule when interacting with each other. Establishing the use of the one rule with your kids and between your kids can help ease your mind as you're helping your kids follow their own interests. With your older kids, at least 3 years old, it's easier to use the one rule in your interactions with them and to encourage them to use the one rule when interacting with each other. With the 2-year-old, you had to do all of the work. With older kids, everyone involved helps it happen. When the one rule agreement is a common way of interacting, it's easier to trust their choices. You also know that if you have a problem with one of their choices, you can come to agreement. They know this too. It eases everyone's mind. Here is something you can do with any child who is past the 2-year-old stage to teach them the one rule. You can present it as a way to solve problems, or even as a game, or as a skit that you perform for the other family members. The first time you might say, let's play a game, or let's do a skit for the family, or let's choose something in our family that we don't like and make it into something that we do like. Have a family issue in mind that your child is familiar with, like putting toys away. But if your child comes up with an idea, go with that if possible. I don't like milk. Okay, let's find something you and I can agree on about that. I don't drink milk. I agree with that. I've always thought that milk is important for growing children, but I don't like milk. Okay, we are looking for a way to agree on this, and for you to agree, you do not drink milk. Yes, I do not drink milk. Okay, you do not drink milk. I will find out what is good for you instead of milk. I will tell you what I find out, and we can find what we do agree to. We can do this with anything when we're not agreeing with now. We can do this with anything we are not agreeing with now and change it to something we do agree with. One way to help them follow their interests is to help them be independent thinkers. When they come to you asking for help, encourage them to solve their own problems, to figure out their solutions. I wonder what you can do about that. That's an interesting situation. I wonder how you might solve that. Remember, you are not always with them and able to use time and energy to provide a solution for them. The more they can solve their own problems, the more inner strength they develop, the more confidence. When they really want your help, of course, give it. If they ask for your opinion, you can give that also. If you think there are things they should know and understand, be sure to tell them. If you think they'd like certain experiences, be sure to offer those possibilities to them. It could make all the difference. When they need even more help, like knowing how to make some pants or use oil paints, or put on a play. If you have those skills, teach them. If not, encourage them to research to find resources to help them. That might be something you do together. You might also find someone who does have those skills, who can teach them what to do. All the tips for helping your older kids follow their interests can apply to your teens too. However, teens are a special case. They are really beginning adulthood. Soon they might be off into the world, maybe going to college, maybe working and getting another place to live, maybe traveling. In any case, they are preparing to enter the world as adults. Here are a few things to keep in mind that could be helpful for them. The following is on the Happy Kids member site and could be helpful to any of your older kids. And remember, this is going to be part of this first, and I like this package. I don't know about other people, but I really like this package. So it's going to be in this first package I'm going to be putting out. I hope I get it all set up so that I can do this tomorrow. That is Wednesday for the 90% off of this package deal. Okay, let's go. Overlooked fact number 3. We as adults may consider teens as children, but they are not. They are young adults. They need the opportunity to learn and develop the skills and abilities they will need as independent adults. Attitude. You realize and accept that it is important for your teenager to practice making their own decisions while they're still at home, while they still have your help to back them up when they make the inevitable mistakes. I know this may sound scary, but the one rule takes most of the scary out of this. Skill. Learn and practice the one rule with your teen. Overlooked fact number 4. Everyone makes mistakes. Attitude. Learn to think of mistakes as challenges or learning opportunities. Skill. When you or your teen makes a mistake, ask, what lesson or lessons do we need to learn so we don't have to go through this again? Overlooked fact number 5. You must show respect first. I know that this seems backwards, to give respect to your teen when they're not giving respect to you, but it is not. It is easiest and most powerful to do this through using the one rule. Parents serve as models of appropriate behavior for their kids. Remember, we are always examples to the children around us, and at some point they may try out our behavior. Realize that children observe such behavior at close range. Whatever rights and privileges adults take, children naturally feel entitled to take also, from a very young age. We are their model of appropriate human behavior, and in their minds, they're definitely human, and thus deserve, expect, and require all human rights. This is from Parenting for the New Millennium, Creating Friendly Families Through the Power of Respect by Karen Ryce. Attitude. You are willing to be a model of respectful behavior towards your teenager by using the one rule. Skill. You use the one rule with your teen and you tell them that you're going to do this. Okay, thanks for being here. Since we don't have guests, no Q&A and discussion. Oh, great. Okay, now. I think I'm wonder if I can share something from the website with you. I did not go there. I don't know why it went there. I want to go there. Slow, patient, and slow. I might have to go and into the back room or whatever of the website because I wonder. Let's see. I'm gonna stop the screen share. Oh, what a trip. Now it shows up, but it's gonna stop probably. Slowly, huh? Oh, maybe. Oh, does that mean that you're not getting? I wonder if you're getting anything here. Oh my. Ah, we're back. Okay. Now I'm going to we'll do this together. Gonna start another screen share. Okay. All right, good. It's working. Now, let me scroll down here. Uh-oh. This is the happykidsgo.org that I mentioned. I just want to show you, if I can, I want to show you how you can sign up there. This is where you sign up. You scroll down to get to here, and there's a way to sign up. It doesn't show up here, but it's there. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you is the page that talks about the latest course. Also, if you wanted to, these, okay, it's going into the back room. Okay. These are the pages on my website. Most of them are live. You can access them. And a few of them you can only access if I give you the web address, the URL. This will be one of those. Taking its time. Anyway, so this is finally the launch of the Happy Kids company. Happy Kids Company. It's been a long, slow process, but over the next maybe couple weeks or so, there are going to be lots of sales. Every day there's going to be at least one, maybe more. So putting it out there. Well, I don't know. As I say, we're almost done here. I hope it comes up before then. Yes. Here's the latest. Friendly Parents, Happy Kids. Latest course. If you prefer harmony with kids, this course is for you. Friendly Parents, Happy Kids. Maybe you just want more good times with your kids. Maybe you just want to be sure that your love is reaching your kids so they always feel loved. Maybe you're tired of feeling bad when you have to punish them for bad behavior. You don't have to when you use the one rule. Maybe you would just like to feel good and confident about your choices as a parent. Maybe you've heard about the one rule from someone who has put it to use, like Susan R. Yockey, mother and business and mindset coach, who had this to say after our coaching sessions. I'm very grateful to have started working with you. My 4-year-old went from hitting, biting, kicking to a pleasant little girl. We're working together. It is a journey, and like anything, takes practice. I'm grateful for the one rule you have created. Thank you, Karen, for your compassion to raising happy kids. Or like Batul Kazmi, who said this: your work is amazing, amazing. It's totally different. It's not just saying you're working toward, it's a kind of a toolkit. The one rule acts like a tool. I use it with my son. I use it in my classroom. Ms. Batul Kazmi of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, educator. And there's her email. I think we're going to have to stop. Well, let's take a look at this. Or like Brian Kasperides, who recently had this to say: "My life hasn't been the same ever since I had the honor of meeting Karen Ryce. Ms. Rice's Raising Happy Kids program has helped me build better relationships with my family, friends, and business associates. I keep her books and materials near me at all times. Karen offers a plethora of ideas and solutions to relationship issues at work. My family actually loves me again." There's something else he said earlier. Okay, so here it is. It's not completed yet. I have to put in the PayPal buttons. But here it is. When it comes up, it's going to be the 90% discount. All right. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and as much as possible, use the one rule. Find agreement. You will be so glad you did. And keep an eye out for these sales.